In this lesson, you will learn how to use the risk assessment module in the quality module. So this has been introduced recently. Currently, I'm using the SaaS version, so software as a service version. For all on-premise customers, this feature will be available around, here you can see it, 15.1.90. So this is when the feature will be released for on-premise. And what you will see is here under quality, you will get a new tab called risk. Yeah, so this will be introduced in the 15.1.90 version. And in order to allow users to qualify risk and assess risk, additional permissions are required. In the permission on the shared space level, you can see here you have the permission tab, and under the application module you have this area which is set risk configuration. You have to turn it on for users who should be, or user groups who should be assessing the risk and setting the quality risk in order to receive the results. So I have done it already for my user who is a workspace admin. So this is already done. So once it is done in the quality module, you can then configure those application module and assess the risk. So first of all, what you need to consider is on each of those application modules, you have already found out that there is a business impact field introduced, which is required. Obviously, you can say this is a unimportant application module for me which has no impact. So this is the first thing you have to do. So across your different application modules, identify what are the application modules with high impact, no impact. If there are ones you want to still set, you can do it just by changing the value on the business impact field. And once you do it, the configuration for the risk is performed, and Octane will then assess this module also when doing the risk analysis on it. So either you can do it here, or you are directly here on the application modules and you can click here on the application modules itself, highlight the business impact, and maybe also filter on those which are having the no impact on the business impact field to see which are those which you need to still configure. And you see all those are listed. For sure, it's an initial effort you have to take, but once you have taken this effort, it's really worth to see what's going on. So once you have defined the business impact per application module and tree hierarchy, if you may have, then you can turn it on. And the way it works is you see here on the very right hand side a new tab called risk, and under this tab you will find a couple of areas which are providing KPIs and analytics to you. Like you have here the code changes and risky commits. So how much number or how much commits, the total number of the commits will be displayed here, and how much of those commits in this specific area are risky. So this is something which is very interesting. Same goes for manual testing and test coverage. So you have a couple of manual tests assigned to a specific application module. How many manual tests has been executed from those existing manual tests, and also what's the failure on the test which are executed. And on the bottom you see another one which is also very important when it comes to test automation. What is the automation rate in this specific area? So it really brings in those key topics you are focusing on for measuring quality into one view. Yeah. And additionally, you have here also the filter panel, which when you are here on the risk tab, transform into an insight panel, and this will list you the top 10 application modules under this module which are having also a bad rate, yeah, on the quality risk. So this is something which is now provided. Keep in mind it's a premium, so it's an enterprise feature. So for all ALM Octane enterprise customers it is available, so you need to have an enterprise edition in order to use the risk assessment module in under the quality module of Octane. And the way to use it is, you see here on the toolbar of the application modules tree, you have a quality risk setting. And now this is really cool because I can first of all turn on the quality risk setting and say, okay, what I want to focus on the release level. So I have my release like Gen X release train. This is my major release, and now I can also filter out few tests which I don't need to consider anymore, or also from the automation perspective, I can filter out the automated test I don't want to see in this analysis. For me, it's okay, as this is my major release, so I can turn it on, and immediately you see something happens. So first of all, you will see all those colors on the application modules which are stating green and orange and red. So red is the module or the risk factor which is the highest one. Then you have the orange, which is round about medium, and then you have the green color, which is not really a big risk. So let's take a look in a more detail. So first of all, I can go on the application modules route, and it shows me now the analysis for all the different application modules I have. So in total, I can see in this whole structure, I have a number of commits, 67. For this specific release which I've configured, I have here the percentage of risky commits. So in areas which are hotspot areas and where existing defects are, I can see that across all the modules, I have only executed 37% of my manual test, and from those, again, 15% are failed. Yeah, and I see only 2% automation coverage for my test automation. And here on the very right hand side in the Insight tab, you see the top 10 critical application modules organized by the highest risk. So the one which is on the top has the highest risk, and then the risk reduce the more you go down. So you can see one of the highest risk is my main module, which is order to cash, and here I have a rating of 10.7. Then I have record to report, which is here. So you can see these are the one which have a higher risk, and I can now further drill down into it. Yeah. So first of all, I can click here to see what is going on the specific module. Here you can see I have already a high number of test execution from all existing test cases I used to manage in this specific module, application module, under the release which I have selected. So here you can see also the release which I've selected. 17% of those executed tests are failed. Again, 2% of automation coverage. So this is still low. And under the module, I can see the top modules which are really strong. And but it's really related also to my data, because you can see this is red, but all others are green, because the whole content is linked directly to this parent module. All the test cases, the defects, the commits, and so on, and they are not really derived from the sub-modules in my case because of demo data, but in reality you would also see the breakdown. So currently on my case, the breakdown does not really make sense, as I did not link correctly the test cases and defects across the hierarchy. But anyway, this is what Octane does for you, and this is really something nice, because I can even drill down on those numbers which I see on the risk tab. So I can see here that 7 commits which were happening, and also 29% of those commits which were in the risky areas. So you can see it here. These are the 2 commits. Same I can do for all the test cases which I have executed in the application module, and the ones which from those were failed are also listed here for that specific release, and I see the automation coverage of my automation testing for this specific module. So it's really a great feature, especially when you organize your application modules in a way which reflects your application and the subjects you want to measure on the application side. And it can provide you really the application view on things in the current project, and can help you to pinpoint on issues you may not directly see from the reporting, and cannot identify the subfolders and subpaths, submodules. So the quality risk is really an addition which helps you to quickly identify with one click what are the issues I'm having. For instance, here in the quote to cache, are there any submodules impacted? What are the highest risk on the submodules here? So it really brings in those data together and helps me to identify the risk on the submodules. So it's definitely a great feature which you should look into, especially focusing on the different releases. You can select the release, save it under the right favorite, and just share with your teams so they are able to see also the same view on risk what you are seeing.